It's Friday evening. It's been a long week in work, but I'm home now and about to go out for dinner with my family as it's mum's 64th birthday today. She doesn't look 64 at all. She looks wonderful. And I'm not even just saying that because I'm his son. If I was an outsider, I would never have guessed that my mum was 64 years old. But she is, and she's happy and healthy, and we're very happy for that. So we're going out to the Highwayman, which is like a country pub, which we've been to 3 times over the last 2 months because we went there for like Christmas meals and stuff like that, and for my dad's birthday on New Year's Day. Oh Jesus, we've been there a lot. But it's good food. It's relatively well priced, and it's going to be a nice evening. There's a really excuse me. Turn that on silent. There's a really grumpy waitress there, and she reminds me of Penny from The Big Bang Theory, which is it's always fun to see because she's miserable. And I don't like looking at her because of her misery brings me joy. I just think if you're going to do a job, try your best to be chipper and cheerful while you do it, especially if it's dealing with customers. I don't know. I think I've just got a very positive outlook on life for the most part, and whenever I do work or have had a job in the past that's dealt with the public, I've always just put a smile on my face and I don't know. It might sound simplistic, but be grateful for the chance to earn money because some people don't have that. Anyway, I'm not gonna be. I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything like that. The Big Bang Theory. I watched all of The Big Bang Theory over Christmas and the weeks and months leading up to Christmas. I never thought I'd enjoy it because I didn't think it was the kind of comedy that I'd like. And I still think it isn't maybe my type of show, but I did start enjoying it the more I watched it. I think it was maybe like just getting used to it, and then I started doing it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Today, while I was walking to work, I was thinking to myself, I haven't found any money today. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a very lucky person. Maybe lucky. Maybe luck's not the right word. But I find a lot of money, whatever denomination. It could be pennies, pounds, notes, whatever it is. I tend to be lucky enough to find it. And it all started a couple of maybe 6 months to a year ago when I just decided that I'm going to consider any kind of money that I find like a little gift from the universe. So even if it's just pennies, pick it up and be grateful that you've got something. So I started to pick up whatever I'd find. I'd pick pennies up, pick 5 pence pieces up. And it's not like a science, I don't think there's a formula to it, but I was grateful for finding it, and it became like a little omen of sorts. Like I would see it and I'd be like, oh, there's my penny for the day or whatever. And eventually I started getting more and more money. I'd find 10 pence pieces, 20 pences, 50s, pounds, all that sort of stuff. And over the past 6 months, I found about £80, maybe. Some notes, like I found 40 the other week. There was one morning where I was walking, delivering newspapers, which is what my dad does. I help him out on the weekends. And one Sunday morning, I was walking down one street and found £20, a £20 note. Turned the corner onto a different street, found a £10 note, and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be funny if I found £5 note around the next corner? Because 20, 10, 5, half in every time. And sure enough, I did. And it's kind of just proof to me that I don't want to say proof because I'm not entirely 100% that I believe that the universe does work in this way. But it was evidence to me that you sort of get what you expect. And now that I've come to expect to find money, I'm finding more and more. And like I said, it's not a formula. It's not like I find tons of money every day, but I am lucky in that respect. So on my way to work this morning, I was thinking to myself, I haven't found any money today. I wonder how much I will find. Turned the corner onto High Street, and as I was walking along, I found a pound in the like on the road next to the pavement. Picked it up and was filming a little Snapchat story as I was walking, saying that what I just said. I was wondering if I'd find money today. Found a pound, and then realised that in the video that I was filming of the pound, I walked past a penny that was on the floor next to me, which I neglected to see. Otherwise, I would have picked it up, obviously, and been grateful for that as well. But it got me thinking that I might start a little. I don't know whether I'll call it a project, but a little experiment. I believe that you have to give to receive. I think you've got to prove to the universe that you have something, so therefore more of it will come to you. So I'm not explaining this very well, and I'll probably go into detail more on it at some stage. But my idea at the moment is whatever money I find from now on, I'm going to put in a special jar, which will be my found money jar, and then I'm going to donate half of that money to a worthy cause, either like a charity or if there's somebody I think might need a little extra. That's a bit judgmental, maybe a bit. Uh, you know what I mean? Who am I to decide whether somebody needs money? But maybe somebody, if I know somebody's a little harder, donate half of that at the end of the year or whatever, and then keep half for myself, because I do think you need to acknowledge that this money has come to me via one means or another. So give half away, keep half for myself, and that's what I'm going to try and do with found money this year. So I was going to suggest, if anyone's watching these videos, if anybody wants to get on board or like do the same thing, maybe give me an email or a text or something like that if you've got my details. You can email me at ollierossa@gmail.com, which is OLLIEROSSER@gmail.com, in case you don't know my email address. Email me there if you're interested in like playing around with this, because for me, certainly when I started to accept money in any form, like pennies I find on the street, once I started picking those up and like just giving a little mental nod, thanks universe, thanks for that, it started to snowball a little, and I found more and more and more. So I'm wondering if this could be like a group consciousness project, and maybe we could, like, I don't know, just see what happens with it. But that's my plan. Whatever I find this year, I'm going to count up at the end of the year, split it in half, keep half for myself, and give half to something that I think is a worthy cause. So please email me, get in touch if you are interested in maybe giving this a go. I was talking to my brother and sister about it today, and I wouldn't say they take a stance like mine, which is that the universe is an amazing place that provides, and we sort of get what we expect. And I was saying, if you want to try this with me, that's fine. My sister was like, yeah, no problem. My brother was like, so what do I do then? How do I get the money? And I realized I couldn't really explain it to him other than you just have to be grateful. You've got to live your life with gratitude. And then not only does everything instantly start looking better when you realize what you do have, but at least in my personal experience, things start happening which are weird. There's coincidences or whatever you want to call it, but strange things happen. And finding more money has been one of those strange things. Anyway, and I don't mean to sound like, you've got to be delusional and put a smile on your face no matter what's going on at the time. I know people go through difficult things constantly, but optimism is my preferred way of life. It's like it's like what's happening at the moment in the States with Donald Trump becoming the president. And I've heard countless people who are worried about it. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't necessarily like Donald Trump as a person. I don't know much about him. I was paying attention to the election in very shallow terms and looking at things that Trump had done, things that Hillary Clinton had done, and I could see I wasn't sort of like on board with either of them wholeheartedly. I could see pros and cons, maybe not even pros. I could see the cons of both candidates. But for better or worse, whatever happened, Donald Trump was the man who was voted in. And that's the way it's probably going to be for the next 4 years. And by now, I'm not a political pundit. I have no idea what I'm talking about, really. But from my point of view, it is better to face things like this with optimism. And I was talking to somebody today who said that he recently slashed funding to the arts and humanities, and it just made me think. Again, I don't know what form that will take. I don't know whether it's going to be like from now on there are no more university courses offered for I don't know the way these systems work, but what it made me think in my head is that if you are born to be an artist, if it's in you to do that kind of thing, you're going to do it anyway, whether somebody's against you or not. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Basically, I just mean personal responsibility is the most important thing, and you have to take responsibility for your own life, not let anything else affect what you want to do or who you want to be. Be optimistic because we only get one life, potentially. We only potentially get one life. I'm not sure whether I believe that that's true. Um, let's just say this is currently the life we're in. Make the most of it. And I need to work on that as well. There are plenty of things that I wish I had done that I haven't yet, and I'm still quite nervous about doing. One of those is going to California, but it's something I need to work on myself. So yeah, personal responsibility. Be grateful for everything. Even the bad times will lead to better times ahead, I'm sure. And I don't know. If anyone's interested in any of this kind of stuff, send me an email. I'd love to talk to people who are maybe interested in experimenting with things like this or little thought experiments. Or anyway, I'm going to go and have dinner now, which I'm quite looking forward to. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. This was quite incoherent, maybe at times. I don't know. Bye.